St. Peter's Basilica has canceled private masses starting March 22nd until further notice. The Vatican Secretariat of State released a letter saying these changes are intended to ensure the holy masses in St. Peter's Basilica take place in a climate of recollection and liturgical decency. Edward Pentin, Rome correspondent for EWTN's National Catholic Register, joins us now. Ed, great to see you. So tell us, what exactly did the letter say about celebrating private masses in the Basilica?
Well, this came rather out as a surprise, out of the blue, rather, because what this letter said is that there's individual celebrations of the Mass are suppressed. So all the masses that take place in the side altars cannot be done individually. So by priests, celebrated by priests individually rather than concelebrated. So what they're saying is that those masses in these side altars need to be concelebrated with more than one priest. It also says that one of these four concelebrated masses must take place each morning, and that they must also have the assistance of readers and cantors. But they also say that if you come with a priest or a bishop, or if a group rather comes with a priest or a bishop, they have to celebrate Mass in the grottos underneath the basilica, which is also a new development. And then lastly, the extraordinary form masses in the old rite, the Tridentine rite, can only also take place in the Vatican grottos underneath the basilica in the Clementine Chapel, which is a very small chapel, as I say, underneath the main body of the basilica.
Ed, do we know how often those masses took place? And also, do you know the reasoning for it and who was in charge of making these decisions?
Yes, well, the Masses was very free. It used to be very free. I mean, if a priest wanted to celebrate Mass in one of the side altars, he was free to do so. But now there is these restrictions, as I say. But yes, this is certainly a change, and I think people aren't quite sure why. But I understand that this has been pushed for some time. Even going back to John Paul II's time, there was an effort to enforce these concelebrated masses. And it goes back to there. But it's the other interesting point about this is it came from the Secretariat of State, and that's unusual as well. This sort of thing should really come from the Archpriest of the Basilica, who's a new Cardinal Mauro Gambetti. But it came from the Secretariat of State, and it was an unsigned statement, so an unsigned letter. So there are all kinds of questions about this. I've asked the Holy See Press Office for some clarification. I've asked Cardinal Parolin, the Secretary of State. I've asked the Sostituto, who's supposed to have signed this document, Archbishop Edgar Pena-Parra, but none have responded, and there's been no clarification so far.
Interesting. Well, Ed, before I let you go quickly, do we know, are pilgrims able to go to Mass in the Basilica?
Yes, they can. As I say, if pilgrims come as a group with a priest or a bishop, they're able to celebrate Mass, but in the Vatican grottos. But they can also to participate in masses which are set at set times in the basilica, but those are usually concelebrated as well, or they have to be rather. And but they can go to those masses. Those masses are available at set times mostly in the morning, but also in the afternoon as well.
Edward Pentin, Rome correspondent for EWTN's National Catholic Register. Thank you so much for your time, Ed.
Thank you, Tracy.